Hey you guys, welcome back to English class. And so let's look at our calendar to see what day is today. And here we notice that the month is October, the day is the 8th, and the year, you guys, is 2020. And if we put that together, we can say today is October the 8th, 2020. But because we've been practicing the days of the week, let's keep doing it, okay? So today is Thursday, which, you guys, that means yesterday was Wednesday and tomorrow will be Friday. And you guys, what do you guys do on Friday? I know that you guys have story time with teacher Diana, right? And there's also a super cool class, science class, right? With teacher Moni. You sure do. So that's tomorrow, when? On Friday. So today is Thursday, yesterday was Wednesday, and tomorrow will be Friday. Very good. And our topic for today, you guys, is blessing my community. Say it with me, blessing my community. So we've been talking about the places in the community, the people in the community, but now, you guys, we have to talk about how we can bless our community, right? And one of the things that the teacher always says is that we can what? Pray for our community, right? And say, God bless my community. So that's one example. But today, you guys, we're going to talk about different examples of blessing our community. Because guess what? Even though you guys are kids, you guys can do different things to bless your community today and in the future. Because guess what? You guys are going to keep growing up, and then one day you guys are going to be teachers and doctors and librarians and so many amazing things, right? So let's practice talking about those things today. And for that, you guys, let's begin with our story time. Are you guys ready? Yes? If you are, then let's go to our story time.
Harry and Amy were the best of friends, and brother and sister too. They both loved to play, to share and to dance. They were all such fun things to do. On Monday, Miss Roberts said to her class, "When you're older, what job will you do? On Friday, we'll play for the whole of the day and the job that you choose for you. I'll decide on a prize and bring it to school, a prize that you'll all want to win. You must think of a job and practice it lots, or the prize will go in the bin." Harry and Amy went home to think, but being big seemed a long time away. Miss Roberts had told them they had to choose, so what were they going to say? Careers Day came and the whole of the class wanted their job to be the best. The twins didn't know what they wanted to be. Miss Roberts said, "Just help the rest." Ardip decided he wanted to teach and needed to build a school. Harry and Amy gathered some bricks. The classrooms and playground were cool. Samira wanted to be on TV, predicting the weather for all. The twins had to use lots of cable and wire. For some bits, they had to crawl. Benjamin wanted to keep people safe. His shiny red truck was a dream. The twins got him water from far away. They needed to work as a team. Henry was set on becoming a vet, helping dogs who weren't feeling great. Until they are better, they mustn't escape, so they built a security gate. Olivia had dreams of being a doctor who worked in a hospital tower. But all the machines she needed to use simply wouldn't work without power. Isabel's car had lights and a siren. It meant she could go and fight crime. But she had no roads to drive upon, so the twins built her some just in time. The class gathered round at the end of the day, all eager to win the big prize. Miss Roberts could feel the whole of the class looking at her with hope in their eyes. Two people in class have helped you all, and they both deserve to win. I'm sure you'll agree it wouldn't be right to only pick one twin. Harry and Amy were both surprised because they still didn't know what to do. Haven't you realized through all that you've built, construction is perfect for you? All of these jobs just couldn't exist without the work that you've done. From roads to schools and water to power, it looked like you both had fun. Harry and Amy collected their prize, and all of their class gave a cheer. After helping their friends with all of their jobs, the twins had found their career.
Alright, you guys, so what did we notice in the story when I grow up? So there was a teacher, there were students, and we noticed that the teacher was talking about what? That the kids had to come up with different careers. And there were two twins, right? We noticed a brother and a sister in the class, and they couldn't figure out what career or what they wanted to be when they grew up, right? They didn't know. Because they were helping all of their friends, they figured out what they wanted to be. And do you guys remember what they wanted to be? I remember that it was something called do you guys remember? A carpenter. Say with me, carpenter. And do you guys know who was the best carpenter ever? Let me see if you guys know. Maybe your teacher, Mr. Rodas, has told you guys in Bible class that the best carpenter ever, you guys, his name is Jesus. So Jesus, you guys, was the best carpenter ever. And we can follow his example, right? And something that he taught us, you guys, is that we have to what? We have to love one another and we have to serve one another, right? And so that's what we're going to talk about during question and answer time. Because we're going to see, you guys, a few examples of how we can what? How we can bless our community now by doing different acts of service, and how we can bless our community in the future, right? By what? By becoming what God has called us to be. So some of you guys, guess what? God has called you guys to be what? An artist or a teacher or maybe a dentist or even a vet, right? To help different animals. Yeah, God has called you guys to be so many amazing things. So let's see a few examples of that during question and answer time. Are you guys ready? Yes? All right, so let's go. Hey, you guys, welcome to our question and answer time for today's topic, which is blessing my community. And here we see the beautiful picture of a community. And question number 1 is, how can I bless my community now? And so you guys, let's see, what are the kids doing, you guys? They are praying. So one way to bless our community is by praying, you guys. And we can pray for our community, for our friends, for those who are sick, right? That God would heal them and protect them. So one way that we can bless our community, you guys, is by praying. Let's see the next example. Here we see, you guys, that they are donating toys, clothing, and food. So you see, you guys can do so much for your community. And it says, I can bless my community by donating goods like food, clothing, and toys. And so if you guys know of someone who's maybe hungry, you guys can take them some food, right? Or maybe one of the kids is lonely and he doesn't have any toys, we can share our toys. Or maybe you guys, we know of someone who doesn't have clothing and we can share clothing, right? So we can bless our community now by donating and giving food, clothing, and toys. All right, you guys, how else? How can I bless my community now? Well, you guys, we see the kids here and it says by keeping it clean. So we can help to clean up and to keep our own areas clean, right? So that includes inside your house and outside. We can bless our community by keeping it clean, right? No garbage on the floor. And you guys, question number 2 is, how can I bless my community later? So not now, but when I grow up. And look at this beautiful picture, you guys. When you grow up, look, you guys are going to be professionals. And it says here, by becoming what God calls me to be. Because God has a special job for everyone, right? We see so many special jobs. So next, you guys, how can I bless my community later? And here are a few examples, you guys, of different jobs you guys can have later. It says, I can be and let's see example. I can be a fireman. I can be an artist. I can be a baker. I can be a nurse. Very good, you guys. Or I can be a doctor. Say with me. I can be a builder. I can be a housewife. That means you guys are taking care at home. Or I can be an engineer. And look, build different things. Or I can be a painter. You guys can paint. Or I can be a bus driver. Or, say with me, I can be a lawyer. Or I can be a pilot and fly the airplanes. Or I can be a police officer. Or you guys, I can be a teacher. Or I can be a carpenter, just like Jesus. Or I can be an electrician. Or I can be an architect, you see, and design different things. Or I can be a dentist. Or I can be a taxi driver. Or you guys, look, super cool. I can be a surgeon and operate on people. Or I can be a barber. Or over here, you guys, I can be a hairdresser. Look, so nice, she's blowing out her hair. Or I can be a farmer and take care of the land. Or I can be a football player. And look at the soccer ball, he's kicking the soccer ball. Or I can be a TV presenter, you guys. You guys can be on the news. Or I can be a journalist and write about different things. Or you guys, I can be a vet and take care of the animals. Or you guys, you can even be a dustman and keep everything clean. So there are so many different ways, you guys, that you can bless your community later, right? By becoming what God has called you to be. That was awesome, right, you guys? We learned ways that we can bless our community now and ways that we can bless the community later on, right? When we grow up. So I want you guys to keep practicing and thinking about the ways that you can bless your community. But for now, you guys, guess what? We have come to our last letter of the alphabet. We sure haven't. Do you guys know what this letter is? It makes the sound za, 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 za. It's the letter, you guys, that if we see over here this beautiful animal, it's called the zebra. That's the beginning letter for zebra. Do you guys know what the letter is? Not yet? Do you guys want me to tell you? Well, the letter for today, you guys, is the letter Z. Say with me, the letter Z. And here we see the capital Z, the small kz. But guess what? We're going to watch a quick video to help us practice a few words that we can say Z is for. So let's go and see what things Z is for. Very good, you guys.
Here comes the letter Z. Z is for zebra, z, z, zebra. Z is for zoo, z, z, zoo. Z is for zero, z, z, zero. Z is for zip, z, z, zip. Z is for zigzag, z, z, zigzag. Z is for zero, z, z, zero. Z is for zebra, z, z, zebra. Z is for zoom, z, z, zoom.
Well, you guys, we're all done with today's class. Wow, we learned so much, but you guys, the most important thing that we learned today is that what? God has called us to love Him, yes, but to love others by serving them, right? And we saw a few examples of how we can bless our community. So for today's activity, you guys, I want you guys to come up with two things. One way that you can bless your community now. And remember, we saw a few examples of that, right? Like feeding someone who's hungry, like praying for someone, or many other examples. And number two, you guys, I want you guys to think about how you guys can bless your community in the future, right? And this one we were talking about the different jobs that we can have, right? So think about what you guys think that God is calling you to be when you grow up, right? So that's very important. So those two things, and like always, we're going to practice our letter of the day, right? So in your phonics book, you're going to be on pages 166 and 167, and here we're going to practice writing the capital Z, the small k Z, and circling the pictures that begin with the letter Z, all right? And as a family, talk about ways that you can what? Continue blessing your community, okay? Because in that way, guess what? They're going to see God's love. They sure are. So let's finish by praying and saying, thank you, God, for one more day. Thank you for your love and your protection. Thank you for blessing me and help me to think of ways I can bless others. You have been so good. In your name we pray. Amen. All right, you guys, so we're all done. That means that it's time for the teacher to say, bye, my alligators. I love you guys. How much? So